What's going on, everybody? Today I'm making a video about my current bases in Palworld. I'm not going to be scripting this video, so it's going to be a little different than some of the videos you may have seen recently with Palworld. But basically, I wanted to start here at the Plateau of Beginnings because, like most people, my first base, I just came down here and I slapped my PAL box right in the center, and I had this terrible spot that had multiple levels. It was even going down to this area. It was just a mess. So after a while, I tore down that base, and I'm going to show you guys my current bases. They're not by any means pretty. I don't really go for like the big scenic bases that people do. I'm more into just like the functionality of the bases, and they're by no means perfect. I'm totally willing to listen to any criticisms or critiques, any advice that people may have. But let's go to my first base, which used to be my second base. This is my ore base. So this is a typical spot. This is right behind the desolate church, and I'm just gonna go over what I have set up here. So I just have the second beds. I forget what they're called, but the first beds don't really cut it after a while. Everything starts getting depressed. I haven't found a need for anything higher than this. I don't need the large beds. I have the large spring. I have all of the little things that improve productivity over here. Uh, Two kitchens, the condenser, the normal stuff. This has become a little bit more than a mine base. It's kind of like my main base, I would say. So I have the smelters here, whatever they're called, the electric furnaces, and then my chests, which just have different supplies and different things in them. These are the skill fruits. Sometimes you have to go in and sort out the ores because if you don't know, they when they're transporting, they will just go to whatever chest is nearest and transport there. So that's why you'll have multiple places with ore and wood and stuff like that. This is my stone chest, even though I have some other stuff in it now. But whenever I need stone, which I'm not going to need stone for a long time, I just set up a pit right here and I let my Anubis go to town. Now I'm going to show you exactly what pals I have in this bench. I mean, in this base, excuse me. So we have a perfect Anubis, Serious Lucky Artisan Work Slave. This is 4-star condensed and plus 10 on work speed. The rest of them have the same traits, but are not fully condensed um, or powered up in the statue. So right now I think I have 5 Anubis, and then we have 2 perfect Euromantide Ignis. Both are 4-star condensed, and one of them is plus 10. I need to plus 10 the other one as well. This is really good for cake baking and salads and stuff like that. Um, 2 perfect trait Euromentides. These aren't condensed or anything like that. I do eventually want to condense them, but I would have to start a breeding project where I just made a bunch of Euromentides because they're really not easy to get other than breeding. Then I have Capridy because I need something that plants seeds. I would use Bronze Cherry, but it's really large and gets stuck all the time. A little less since 1.4.1, but it still does get stuck a bunch. If they improve pathing more, I'll definitely switch over to that. Robin Quill is a nice little like jack of all trades kind. I need something for harvesting, and another thing for transport isn't bad. Um, Lunaris we have for transport and harvesting, even though she's not great at that, but she also does help out on handiwork. And then Orzark for just the electricity. I keep an open spot so I can throw in my wandering merchant or my black marketeer whenever I want and sell nails or sell pals, whatever it may be. Let's go over to my second base, which this is primarily my coal and breeding base. So I have Anubis here that just are always mining the coal. And then I have 2 breeding setups. I did have 3. I had a third um, breeding pen or whatever they're called set up over here, but because of the terrain, this part of the fence was basically under the ground, and they would literally just walk out and stop breeding. So I'm gonna set up another one probably at the bottom. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. We have a bunch of cake. I have like 200 in each box, and so we're fully prepared to for my next breeding project. This thing is filled with coal and some other like things that are farmed from this base. Um, and then over here, I just have a bunch of wheat farms. I switch these between wheat and berry depending on what I need. I haven't needed berry for quite a while. These guys are just feeding off of baked berry entirely. While I'm here, I'll set up the wheat over at the mill. And yeah, so this has become my main like wheat production. Berries, I have like a bunch of big berries. I probably will need to set up a berry farm soon. I might actually do it at my first farm where I produce not cabbage, lettuce and tomato. I'll do that in order to just switch it up and have some extra berries for baking cakes. But yeah, so this is a pretty simple base. I have my incubators. I used to have like 30 incubators, but I set my incubation time down to 0 um, because, why not? So now I just have 4, even though you only really need 1 if you have your incubation time down to 0. I did have it at 1 for the longest time because I was playing on casual, but I switched it over. So let's take a look over here. We have another 2 perfect Yormantide, not boosted or anything like that. We have a Verdash, nothing special here. I actually should get some more Verdash for the other base just for harvesting. He's a really good harvester. He also will plant and transport at level 2 on both. Level 3 harvesting, so that's great. We have some Perfect Anubis just for the mining. I don't really do any production here. I might eventually switch these with Astegons. But honestly, it's kind of like if it ain't broke, don't fix it situation. Because I'm mining plenty of coal. This base doesn't really have a whole lot going on. I have a lot of open spaces here because this is where I put like my breeding pairs and such. And then I have 2 Petalia just to keep up with the harvesting and stuff. I actually just realized that Petalia is probably what I want at my first base, so I'm gonna probably catch some more of those from the wildlife sanctuary and then just throw them onto that base. This is my last base, and this base is kind of a work in progress. I basically just looked for any big wide open area, and this spot, which is negative 477, negative 81, is kind of perfect if you just want like a nice wide open range. Um, and yeah, I just set my PAL box right in the center. I have 2 lettuce patches and 2 tomato patches. I might expand that actually, especially if I can grab more petalias. I'll do that. I have 2 ranches just for milk and eggs. I did also have bees set up here, but I have like 1,500 honey or something like that, and I'm not going to need more honey for a while. That's like 750 cakes worth. So, yeah, the bed set up, and then we have like silo and all the stuff you need for production. I really do need to build water fountains. I keep forgetting to build water fountains at all my bases. Um, Lots of room for other stuff. If I want to set up more breeding stalls over here, I can do that. Um, this seems to be full. So one thing that I feel like people are going to be confused about is why I have a bunch of Icthyodeer running around my base, because it's not really like the best lumberer. So Wumpo and Wumpo Baton are level 3 lumbering to start. So if you fully condense them, they would be level 4. My issue was when I put them in the base, they would do everything else besides lumbering. So they would transport and whatever they wanted to do. Icthyodeer just has lumberer. So what I actually did was I bred for perfect Icthyodeer, and then I actually condensed all 3 of these to full. I'll show you in the box. All 3 of them are 4-star, and so that gives them all level 3 lumbering. So they're actually pretty quick. Basically as quick as like Anubis is at mining a pit. And yeah, it's been going well. Like you see, I have plenty of wood now, and don't really need to worry. Once this box is done, I'll probably retire them for a little bit, because you don't really need as much wood as you need stone, because you use stone to get paldium fragments and such. But here, yeah, so I have some stuff that I need to transfer over here. But what I didn't show you is I use salads for this base and the first base, the mining base, because of production speed. On my third base, I did show I use baked berries because they don't really need the work speed bonus that salad gives. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I can think of here. I don't really think anything special going on here. Yeah, I don't even have perfect Tides here. I need to set that up, and then I do have perfect Anubis, but they're not enhanced or anything. So pretty much just simple stuff. Chickpeas not and Muzzrin is not condensed or anything like that to produce more eggs and milk. They do produce a decent amount, I would say. And worst comes to worst, if I'm at a point where I feel like I need more, I could just buy from my wandering merchant. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. I also like, if you're wondering like how I have like so many legendary spheres and stuff like that, I do play on casual settings, which means I have double drops. So drop is set to 2. But aside from that, I make sure that I produce a lot of ingot and sell the nails that I craft, and that's why I have over 1,000,000 gold still. And I buy all my assault rifle ammo. But yeah, other than that, the only real thing that you ever really feel that you need with my current build is sulfur. And this spot right here, which is negative 591, negative 404, has 7 sulfur veins, I believe, 7 or 8. And I just go there, and I have a little trick that I like to do. I can actually, let's fast travel there, and I'll show you what I do. This is the only thing that I ever need, really, is sulfur. So everything else is kind of taken care of. Which direction do I have to go here? Okay, so this is the spot. Again, that's negative 590, negative 400, or thereabout. You have these sulfur veins. I just use my rocket launcher, blow them all up. Over here you have 4 more and an ore. Obviously use my glider to get around quicker to pick them all up. Once I pick all of them up, my little trick to getting back to base only works if you're on casual or custom settings and you have to turn off death penalties. So make sure that you don't drop anything if you die. And once you've collected all the sulfur, you just go, you respawn, you immediately die, and then after the 5-second wait, you can just go back to whatever base you want and deposit your sulfur into your chest. And yeah, that's my little trick on gathering sulfur, so I don't really need a sulfur farm. I do that like once every in-game day or so. Gather a bunch of sulfur, make a bunch of rockets, and then I'm good. If you have any other questions though of what I do in Palworld, I can make little videos explaining, or if anything was unclear in this video, please feel free to ask. Make sure to give me a follow if you would like, and you could also follow me on Twitch at Vinny in the Lab. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye, everybody.